How's it going, guys? Zabby here, and today I'm going to tell you guys how to scout a location before you go there in Fishing Planet. This video is definitely going to be for beginners. If you guys don't already know what to catch at which lakes, this video should help you kind of decide what to scout and kind of pick out which fish are going to be the money fish or the XP fish, because you can kind of tell from the leaderboards. So, for example, if we go to, let's say, White Moose Lake here, this unlocks at level 22. Let's say you don't know anything about this lake, you've never been there, you haven't watched a single video on it. What you're going to want to do, guys, is go to the top here and go to the leaderboards. Because what this is going to do is let you guys look through each location, see what the fish max out at, so you can base your setup on the max weight of the fish. So we go to White Moose Lake here, you can see the top fish here is the unique lake trout. It's not even close. It is the unique lake trout, and they max out at 21 kilograms, almost 22 kilograms when they are unique. So you know right away, if you're going to be going here for lake trout, you need something that is going to be able to handle 21.98 kilograms max. So you're not going to want to come here with a 10 kilogram setup, because it's going to take you forever to bring these in. Another thing you can do here with the filters, guys, is you can sort by just uniques in general. So you can see it is the unique lake trouts. You can go to trophies. There's the trophy lake trout. So if you want to kind of get a gauge of how big trophies are, how big uniques are, there you go. And then obviously you can go to common. The voodoo fish is a monster, which is fine. And you can also go to young, which there is none there. But another cool feature you can do is, say you wanted to check out the salmon. So you can see the trophy Atlantic salmon, they max out around 10 kilograms. So while you can bring a setup just to go for lake trout, you can maybe bring a lighter weight setup that you want to target salmon with. There's also brook trout, unique brook trout. They're pretty small. So you can just see, guys, just from going through stuff like this, the big fish to catch here are the lake trout. You can see there's a bunch of panfish here, and you don't want to necessarily be going for them. Splakes get decently big as well. But basically, if you're going to come here, you can tell the money and the XP is in the unique lake trout and in maybe the trophy salmon. But mostly it's going to be in the unique lake trout or the trophy lake trout. All right, guys, you can actually see we're up there for trophy lake trout. But this really is where you want to look when making your setup. So you can see here, the lake trout trophies get around 15, the uniques get around 21. So you're going to want to bring a half decent setup here, guys. Now, what I'm going to be doing here is creating a setup just for White Moose, and this is just going to be from stuff I have in my inventory. I do have a video on White Moose, but let's just say we wanted to go there not to maximize XP, but to just bring in a bunch of really fast fish. I do have some setups we can use right away. I'm going to go ahead here, throw in the heavy chaser. This is a 27 kilogram rod. And now we do have reels that can handle it. We're going to go to the 26 kilogram Leviathan. So this is overkill, guys. It's still going to be decently hard to bring these bad boys in, though, just because of how much of a fight they can put up. We're going to go with 25 kilogram line. So again, it's overkill, but it's not insanely overkill, if you know what I mean. We're going to go ahead and put on a half-decent leader here. I think I have one that fits. Let's see here. We got a 25 kilogram fluorocarbon leader, which is what I'm going to use. Of course, my backpack is full. Let me just throw some stuff in my home there. But let's go ahead and throw on this 24 kilogram. And this is basically how you guys are going to be matching up your setups when you go to a place like this. All you got to really do, guys, is look at the leaderboards. And this is one of the tips I wish I knew in the beginning, because there's plenty of times I went to a location, I didn't exactly know which fish I was going to be targeting, because I didn't know which fish were going to be the money fish. And that's basically all you got to do, guys, is take a look at what the big fish are, what the uniques are, what you want to target. Of course, I have videos for most of these places now, if you want to just figure it out easier. But all I'm going to do, guys, is bring a bunch of different hook sizes as well. That's another tip. Is one thing I didn't do is I didn't bring a lot of different hook sizes. So say I want to go for only uniques, let's throw on those. And now you can also double check what they like here. So let's say we're targeting lake trout. See, they like spawn sack, they like shiners. If they like shiners, they're going to like large minnows and such as well, guys. So I'm just going to bring some spawn sack with us for this example. But there you go, guys. There's a super, well, not a super overpowered, but a decently overpowered setup. And again, guys, that's all you really got to do. Go into the leaderboards, take a look at what people are catching, what it's maxing out at. You can see here, They get decently big, so anything too small, like a 10 kilogram setup, is just not gonna work here, guys. You will get XP on the smaller fish, and you will get a lot of XP if you bring in a lake trout, but it's just gonna be so hard and frustrating. It's not gonna be that great. You guys gotta remember, even though you might get less XP, if you take 20 minutes to bring in a fish, it's not really worth it. Let's just go. We'll bring the rest of my bottom setups here. Maybe I'll even bring one of these lighter weight setups just so you guys can kind of see. We don't need a carp setup, but other than that, that should be good. So we got an 8 kilogram setup coming here. We got a 27 kilogram setup. So this is essentially the same as our other setup, except it's got 30 kilogram line. This is what I use when I'm going after like tarpon and such, but we do have a little bit less of an underpowered one there. I should bring a spinning rod here, but I won't just because it's not really necessary. But remember, guys, double check the leaderboards wherever you're going. Say we were going to Alaska here, all right? All we're gonna do, we're gonna reset that. We're gonna go to Cannon Creek. And you can see here, guys, the unique Chinook salmon are easily, by far, the biggest salmon there, and you're gonna want to target these. These are gonna be your goldfish when you go there. Now, is there other salmon you can go after other than Chinook? Yeah, of course. There's 17 kilogram unique chum salmon. So that's pretty solid. There's going to be unique coho. There's going to be Dolly Varden. There's going to be pike. Oh, no, there's no pike here. There's going to be pink salmon. But you guys can tell here, the difference in size is really what's going to set it apart. So, yeah, you might not get great XP on these unique sockeye salmon and stuff like that. But if you have a 25 kilogram setup, 20 kilogram setup, and you catch a unique Chinook here, you're going to get great XP, and that should be your target fish. You can go to all sorts of different places just to figure that out. Say we go to, let's go to San Joaquin Delta here in California. We go here, we get off of that, we go to here. You can see the gourmet bass is the biggest fish here. Now that is a monster fish. So that kind of gets rid of the appeal in terms of that. Now, if you guys have ever been here before, you know there is decent sized unique striped bass. So again, those are great muddy fish to go after. But the big fish here is a sturgeon because of how quickly you can get them in and stuff. Shout out to Grass Carp. He comes in the channel all the time. He's up there for sturgeon. Let me do another example. Blue crab. Another example is blue crab. You guys never been here before. You guys probably have heard about the tarpon here, but let's go to blue crab just to sort of show you. Unique tarpon, 69 kilograms. It dominates the leaderboard, guys. Now, that's not to say that that's the only fish to catch here or anything by any means, but if you want to see the weight of, like, let's say you want to go here and you want to go bass fishing, there's butterfly peacock. Where's the speckled? There's the speckled there. They max out at like 9.9. So if you guys come here with a 25 kilogram setup and you catch bass, you're not going to be earning any XP. So you got to look through the leaderboard, guys, to kind of judge what you're going to bring when you do come to a location like this. So make sure you, every time you go to a place, unless you've already been there and you know for a fact what you need to bring, if you don't know what to bring, come to the leaderboards, build your setup around the top 100s on the leaderboards. That way you know, if I'm going to get a unique on here, I need something around this weight. If I'm going after this panfish, it's super, super small and you want to still gain XP, bring a super, super lightweight setup. It really depends on what you're going to be fishing, guys. So make sure you check out the leaderboards. It's a tool that I didn't use at the beginning when I was in this game. And I would go to a location and I would bring an overpowered setup and not an XP, or I'd bring an underpowered setup and it would just be ridiculously hard to bring in fish. So make sure to use those leaderboards when you can, guys. All right, that's one tip for sure. All right, so we are gonna head to where were we going? We were going to go to White Moose Lake with the setups I brought. We're gonna grab an advanced license here like so. We're gonna head there and we're gonna fish in Alberta. I'll see you guys there. All right, guys, we are in Alberta now, and this is where we're gonna be fishing. I'm just gonna go ahead, change my hook sizes around here. I'm going to go do a bunch of different sizes, some 5.0s, some 6.0s, some 4.0s, stuff like that. I'm going to be using one flow rod here, and I'm just going to throw a 4.0 on there. And I'm going to go to all spawn sack on each one of these, just because I want to. That's kind of what I want to use here. That's generally what I do use. But you can see here, we got one around 25 kilograms set up. We got one that's more in the 30s in terms of line. Then we got a really underpowered 8 kilogram setup, and you guys are going to see the difference here in terms of XP and such. So I'm just going to cast out way out there, and we are going to try and bring in some fish with all these different rods so you guys can kind of see the difference here and why it's important to check out a location before you go there. Always use those leaderboards, guys. It will help you out immensely if you don't know what size you're going to need, what kind of line you're going to need, what kind of rod you're going to need to bring. You got to check out those leaderboards. You can see here we already got a fish on our first rod there, which is a little bit lighter setup for the bottom rods. I'll throw out that bottom rod there. You guys can see here we're going to be bringing in a smaller fish. You can tell right away it's going to be a little bit smaller than a lake trout. It's probably going to be like a splake or something like that. But now we also got one on the bigger setup there. So let's go ahead, bring this guy in quickly. It's actually a burbot, I think. Burbot, I don't know. And there we go. We got a good fish on here. So this is definitely going to be a lake trout. You can just tell by the fight on it, I'm pretty sure. Remember, this is 30 kilogram line on here. So this is a bigger fish. You can tell it's fighting a little bit more. And again, guys, you're going to notice I'm going to have like the red arrows when I bring in these fish. Because again, I came here with the intention of just making money. If you want to come with an XP setup, you really got to kind of play around, see what you should bring. So there you go. I got the 3 red arrows because this is not an ideal setup. That was also only a 5 kilogram lake trout. When you get the trophies and the uniques, you obviously get a little bit more XP. But now if I get a 20 kilogram trout on this rod, which is an 8 kilogram rod, it's going to be crazy to bring in. It's going to be hard to bring in, but I'm also going to get a lot of XP. So let's go ahead and use this little bit lighter weight bottom rod setup. Throw that out there. And now you can see we got something biting at our float rod. We'll wait for the lure to go under, or sorry, for the float to go under, which it should any second. There we go. We're going to ring this bad boy in. Just be careful of your slack and everything and your tension. You don't want it set too high. Looks like we got a smaller fish here, or else it would instantly be at full tension, basically. Yep, definitely just a smaller lake trout or splake. Actually, a brook trout. So you can see we got 3 red arrows because this setup is overpowered for brook trout, but it's underpowered for lake trout. So make sure you guys are targeting that fish. And don't worry about XP on every single fish you catch. You got to worry about the XP on the fish you're targeting, like the uniques, like the trophies, or whatever you do end up targeting. You got to worry about the XP on the fish you're actually targeting. Right there, I'm not targeting brook trout. I don't care that I didn't get XP for that fish, because that's not my main target here. So I'm going to keep fishing, guys. Try and bring in one here on this super lightweight setup. When I do, I will let you guys know. And I'll also try and catch one on the heavier duty setup so you guys can kind of see the difference in terms of XP when you bring an overpowered setup to an underpowered setup. A lake trout or a bigger fish on our float setup. And you guys can just see how much harder it's going to be to bring him in. There's actually going to be a fight, and this is the difference, guys, between an overpowered and underpowered setup. And basically your goal is to always just find a nice middle ground where you're going to get good amount of XP for your unique catches, decent XP for your trophies, and not have to take 45 minutes to bring in a fish. It's basically what you want to kind of be looking for, is a happy middle ground between XP and reel-in speed. This actually isn't too bad. I thought this was going to be a little bit harder, but we're actually having decent luck here. Probably not that big of a fish, but imagine if this was a unique, guys, how long this would take. I'll keep going for another one. Let's see where this one came out at. Alright, guys, it looks like we have a half decent sized fish on here. I did go back and grab a couple extra rods just to speed things up a bit. Hopefully we can get a unique on here, or even a trophy, to kind of show you guys how hard it's going to be to bring in some of these fish if you do have underpowered gear compared to how you when you have overpowered gear. Now, we're actually bringing this one in pretty quick, so it's probably not a unique or a trophy. Another thing to note is these 2 rods I brought when I came back are 10 kilogram rods, so they are decent size. But I want to get a unique on here. Actually, that was a salmon, which is surprising. I want to get a unique lake trout on here so you guys can kind of see what it looks like when you have a fish that just completely out levels your rods. I'm sure you guys have experienced it before, but I want to just give you visual proof of how to find that nice middle ground, guys. Alright guys, looks like we have a decent sized lake trout on here. You can see it's going to be a little bit of a battle. Now, lake trout aren't the hardest things to bring in, but even when you have underpowered gear, guys, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna take a while to bring in. And it's all about trying to maximize your XP while also keeping your amount of time to bring a fish in at a half decent rate, so that way you can actually bring them in. Because if you're going to sit here and fight a fish for 45 minutes, it doesn't really matter if it's worth a couple thousand XP. You could have caught a bunch of more fish in the same time period if you just upgrade your setup a little bit. So really the key to this video, guys, is just using the leaderboard to scout and kind of just give you an idea of what type of setup you should bring, what weight setup you should bring. So try and use the leaderboard as much as you can, guys, because that's really something I wish I did that I always forgot to. Sorry about the beeping in the background, guys. I literally have the volume on like 2% and it's still extremely loud. Maybe that's another thing they can do is have like a beeper volume or something in this game, so you can turn down the beep just a tad bit more, because I basically have the volume completely down for the environment and it still won't touch it. You can see here the fight is super long, guys, and this is the difference between an overpowered and underpowered setup. It's going to take me forever to bring this fish in, and that's just the way it's going to be, guys. So make sure to use that leaderboard to scout. So as you guys saw there was three green arrows on that trophy lake trout. That was only 12 kilograms, guys, and they go up to about 22. So imagine how long a fight would be with a unique. You can already tell that, yes, you're going to get good XP on the trophies with this, but for the uniques, it is not going to be ideal. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. Check out the description for links to my other social media platforms like Twitch, where I stream 5 days a week. Come hang out live. It's a lot of fun. Also, make sure to come type a comment. Tell me to catch more fish or whatever you guys want. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.